What's happening, Justorian? You're listening to Influencers of Justory interviews, where we invite influential and accomplished guests who have an interesting story to share with their followers. In today's episode, we have with us our featured guest, Vivienna Alfred. Stay tuned. Welcome to the show, Vivienna. It's good to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure. It is an honor. I am humbled that you got the chance for me to be interviewed here today. Thank you so much.
I met Vivienna not long ago in a Gary Vaynerchuk event in Malaysia. We are both huge fans. So Vivienna is currently a business student, model, and creative collaborator who specializes in verticals of art, photography, and fashion. She has been in the entertainment industry since she was only 15 years old and has won several accolades. She is the former winner of the Kaligit Lunar Festival, and currently she is the finalist for the first edition of Miss Malaysia International Global 2018. Vivienna, take a minute, fill in the gaps from the intro, and give us a little glimpse into your personal life.
Okay, from the way you mentioned that I was in this industry since I was 15, I actually felt that I just started it last year. So I wonder where does all the times goes? Yeah, for those of you who might know me yet, my name is Vivienna Alfred. I'm 21 years old. I am a model, has been in this industry since I was 15 years old, but I only joined as professional since I was 18. And I also joined several beauty pageants. As Max mentioned, I was the former winner for Miss Kaligit Lunar Festival. Currently, I am one of the finalists for Miss Malaysia International Global.
Tell us, how were you like in high school?
This is actually pretty much far from modeling. I was actually an athlete and I was a captain for 3 years in the sport that I was in. It's called Kabaddi. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. It's an Indian traditional sport.
How do you pronounce it again?
Kabaddi.
Kabaddi.
Kabaddi. It's like a sport where they play like a rugby. Mm-hmm. But like rugby, you have to catch a football. Here, we catch the real people in order to earn money.
Wow.
So yeah, I was also one of the best player when I was 15, which was in 2011. Eventually, when I was 16, I got selected to become one of the Sukma players to represent my state. And in my high school, I was really the outdoor kind of girl. I enjoy participating in camping. I enjoyed all these outdoor activities. I don't really like to stay in class because it's kind of boring to me. And I met a lot of friends from every classes. So yeah, I had a really fun memories back in high school.
Nice. Well, it's a bit of a surprise to find out that you were pretty into physical and outdoor activities. So do you still perform these physical and outdoor activities these days or not so much?
I only do like hiking, but not kabaddi anymore since it's kind of rough sport. So, and people often get injured. Like a few friends of mine, they got injured. They broke their nose. They broke a lot of things because kabaddi is kind of rough. So when I actually participate and join the competition, mm-hmm. and people like ask me, so what are you doing besides studying? And because my coach actually, he was really proud that one of his girls is a model. So people are often surprised that how could a model play kabaddi and all this kind of thing. Fortunately, I'm not one of the athletes anymore. I just had to stop.
What would you say is your greatest strength as a model?
I am proudly to say that I am persistent in getting what I want in everything. If I can't get it now, I'll make sure eventually I'll work for it in order to get me to achieve that kind of thing that I want. I think almost everyone around me can actually see this side of me because, okay, I'll just give you one example. When I first joined pageant, the first 4 pageant that I joined, I never won any of it. And I never even got into top 3. But I know this modeling and pageantry is close to my heart, so I really want it. Eventually, when I was 18, I got my first title as a winner of the Kaligit Lunar Festival. So I would say that persistent.
Being a reliable model is of utmost importance. How would you describe your work ethic?
Quality, and then by clarifying my standards to the client. I also make sure that both parties will want to achieve the same level of satisfaction and being on time, of course. And then I will also say respect. In every relationship, I think if there is no respect, the relationship won't grow well. Because the one thing that I learned in this industry is that I don't always get the chance to work with new designers, new photographers, new people all the time. But once I get to work again with the people that I've worked with before, it's amazing. I think it's more than getting a new client, because my relationship with them kind of developed, and I believe it all happens out of respect. So quality, respect, time. Yes, respect others people's time. And then, oh yes, I also like to hear feedback. I really don't mind if anyone comment something poor about my performance, but I love to hear feedback so that I can improve more.
Quality, communicating your standards to your clients, respect,
Yes.
and good communication and mutual understanding between both parties is key. Now, in your opinion, what would you say is the number one key to success in the modeling industry?
I would say experience, but I believe achievement is much better, because not everyone who has more experience has achieved certain things. Because, of course, in order to achieve something, we need to gain more experience. However, there are also people who don't actually get out of the comfort zone and actually achieve better things. Because my brother used to tell me this: you can't just be a model like this your whole life. You need to have improvement from things to things, and I believe that improvement is an achievement. So I believe an achievement is actually the success in the modeling industry. I would say achievement, but of course, in order to get that achievement, we need to get more experience. But yeah, we need to know our weakness so that we can improve and achieve better things, not just remain the same the whole year.
This is one of the things which Gary Vaynerchuk has been teaching us over and over again. Self-awareness is key.
Yes, exactly. I learned a lot from that man. Oh my gosh. He's really such an idol.
You have a lot going on in your life right now. Juggling your tasks between a student, part-time model, and influencer is no easy task. Share with us, what does a typical day in your week look like?
From Monday to Thursday, basically, I'm a student by the day. So by the night, I'm actually an aspiring influencer to see from which aspect can I actually influence my audience, and from where can I bring them value that they want to be influenced by. And then by the weekend, I usually have shoots, I usually have collaborations. So by the weekend, I usually am a model. And usually, if I have any shoot, if I have any project, usually I will put that in my weekend schedule so that I won't jeopardize my study. Because as you say, it's not an easy task. Definitely need high commitment. But I believe if we know what we want, then it's fine to work for it. It's nothing really hard about it. It's just need to be a little more disciplined.
Nice. So what are some of your hobbies and interests? How do you enjoy spending your spare time when you are not working?
I love reading. I also love watching documentaries about almost everything, because I love to learn the art behind the things that is happening. Well, not only just modeling shows, modeling documentaries, but almost everything. So I prefer to stay home to read and also watch documentaries. However, I also expose myself actively just to build network, and I love to catch up with people that I see who has potential to both parties that can actually benefit from each other. Also, yeah, I like to swim.
Nice. So Vivienna, name 3 or 5 of your all-time favorite books which have had the most influence in your life. Tell us why.
The first one has to be Girl Code by Cara, the Champagne Diet. The way she interviewed a lot of successful women actually inspired me to become one of the women who actually encourage another woman to achieve their goals, their dreams. In the world where I'm living in, I don't see much women supporting each other. So that's kind of sad. But since I don't see much people doing it, that's why I would love to do it. The next one has to be by Brian Tracy. It's Victory. In this book, not only he teach about theory part, he actually gives a specific plan, a specific details, a specific procedure in order for me to achieve to my goals, because he actually developed these strategies from military strategies. And it's actually a pretty amazing book. And I believe everyone who read this book and can implement it in their daily life can actually achieve whatever we want to achieve. The next one, which is currently that I'm reading, it's The Secret. One thing I like about this book is it teaches me how to control my mind, how to control my thought. And I actually have to agree with this book that everything, it comes from the mind. So a part of how I control my mind is through this book. So if you get a chance to read this book, you'll love it.
Yes, it is a very popular book. I should definitely check it out.
Yeah, maybe I can lend you mine once I finish to read it.
That sounds great. Appreciate that. What about 3 or 5 documentaries which have had the most influence in your life? Would you like to share that with us as well?
Sure. The first one, it has to be Genius on Netflix. Genius, they study people like Steve Jobs, people like Bill Gates, the very successful people in almost every industry in this world, especially most of it in business industry. Mm-hmm. So they actually give an insight. Why are there in this world? There are a lot of geniuses people, but what separates the successful one with the genius people is that the successful one, they have mission. So that's actually kind of inspired me, because when one of the episodes that I was watching, he said that genius people are just an ordinary people. They are like a normal people. We all have problem, we all have commitment. So then he said the thing that separates these people among the ordinary people is that they have vision. So, and I learned a lot through all these documentaries. The other two, well, the first one has to be a crime investigation, because I love to get to people's head. Like, what are you thinking while you're doing? Probably because I love history and all this, so I love to learn about all this kind of thing.
Now, I know you are a huge proponent in developing and enriching our mindsets, as your social media tagline suggests that we are only as successful as we allow our mindsets to be. So, Vivienna, what mindsets have helped you in achieving the success you have enjoyed so far at such an early age?
Sounds cliche, but I believe in myself, because I think, well, as I mentioned, that we have to know how to master our thoughts. I actually have this kind of negative thoughts, but whenever I know this kind of thought brings me down, I can pull out myself from that process of that thoughts bringing me down. However, I can prevent that thought from getting into my head. So whenever something seems not right to my heart, and I know it is a negative thing that will ruin my thought, I'll straight away prevent it. I don't really like watching drama, so I prevent it. I prevent myself from watching all this kind of thing, because I don't like it to ruin with my thoughts. So that's how I control my thought. And the thing that I always believe in is that once I think of something and I have the feeling that I can do it, I'll stick to it. I'll believe in myself that I can do it. Eventually, I just can do it. And what I always do every night before bed is that I imagine where I want to be in 2 years to come, 3 years to come, 5 years to come. And yeah, basically I'll just keep on repeating, imagine it as if I've already there. When I have imagined that kind of thing, it's actually driven me to work really hard to get to where I want in a certain period of time. So, well, I guess believe in ourselves.
Well, you know how they say rubbish in, rubbish out. So it's very important to keep our input, thoughts, and environment to be in a state where it is supportive for us towards achieving our goals. So
yeah, exactly.
Who are the biggest role models in your life, and what are the impact they've had on you?
I would say my whole family. My whole family, I observe, and I learn different things from each one of them. My role models are all of them. And also, as you mentioned, it's Gary Vaynerchuk. Listening to Gary Vaynerchuk, not enough words to describe how he actually had influence in my life, but he actually changed my perspective to different level. And I am so thankful that someone like him is in our world to influence and to help other people. So I aspire to be like that. You know, for the younger girls, especially in modeling and all this, can rely to someone.
That's very interesting. Do tell us more on how Gary Vaynerchuk has influenced your life positively.
When I listened to Gary, I didn't even watch the video yet. I only listened to him, and then I thought to myself, this guy is actually right. And then I rewind the video. What he emphasized on is kindness. When he emphasized on kindness, it actually impacted me. It actually impacted myself to be kind to other people as well. And because the people that are influenced by me, I tend to treat them as kind without expecting anything in return, because I don't really see a lot of mentor that these people can rely on. So how Gary is a mentor to me, just by being kind, I can actually be a mentor for younger girls just be kind. And Gary is kind of matured in almost everything, like how he said that we are lucky to be a human, and everyone who's complaining, especially about the small stuff, we should actually rethink our perspective.
Well, that's great. I'm sure Gary Vaynerchuk will be proud to hear that from you as well.
Yeah, he actually, when we had this private session, when he came to Malaysia, well, he was really humble, I tell you. When I shook his hand, he was really humble. Like, I can feel the connection between us. And then he actually replied my DM.
Wow.
This guy is such a humble, with the kind of success, with the kind of influence, with the kind of fame. He still remain humble. And it's just great to know that there's still people like this in this world.
It was actually very inspiring as well when I saw that he went out of his way to shake hands, take pictures, and also sign the books of his audience. And his security team members actually have to hold him back to make sure that he doesn't get way too close with the audience. So I have to say my level of respect for him actually increased a lot after I actually seen him spoke in real life in person.
Yeah, that is also one thing that I always remind myself, that I always put in my mind, that if one day I reach to that kind of level in my own success, I will remain humble forever. Just be like him.
So what keeps you going when things get tough in the modeling industry?
My imagination of where I want to be. Now I'm 21. I've already imagined things where I want to be in 25. So what keeps me going has to be, I realize that in order for me to become that, I have to earn it myself. No one's going to give it to me. I have to keep going because I have no choice. Because I know this is what I want. So that is what I'm going to do. Whenever I feel like tired, or whenever I feel like I lose hope, I will always read back every supportive messages that I got in my DM. People surround me is the thing that keeps me going, because reading their messages make me realize that they have faith in me. If they have faith in me, I should have faith in myself. So when I achieve something, when I become successful in the thing that I want to achieve, I can actually help a lot more people. So these people who actually support me, these messages, is something to keep me motivated enough. And especially it comes from my family.
Nice. So share your vision with us. How would you like things to be when you're 25 years old?
When I'm 25 years old, I'll be graduating from degree. So by that time, I plan to join just maybe one or two last pageant before I cut it off from pageantry and focus on training the younger girls again. So, one of the things I plan to join Miss Universe, and then from there on, I'll take my responsibility to run. Not from there on. In fact, this year I've actually planned to work some beauty queen responsibility, just to live the legacy as beauty queen, no matter in that year I have ever won a title or not. Once I'm 25, I've imagined things that I've competed in a pageant, and I get to do a lot of projects where I get to help a lot of younger girls. And I just want to be a good role model. I just want to be a good influencer that can impact these younger girls' life. And no matter what, the most important thing is that I want this younger girl to be smart. Because when I started at 15, I was naive. So a few times when I recall back, I've been taken for granted. So I don't want this thing to happen to sweet girls who has potential. So once I've reached 25, and let's say, for example, I got into Miss Universe, I have better and huge influence. So I have a better voice, influence a lot of people.
That is a beautiful and grand vision. Thank you for sharing that, and we wish you the best of success in making it come true.
Thank you so much, because this is actually the first time I kind of expose what is my vision, because usually I don't really expose what I have in my mind, but this is just a glimpse of it.
Nice. I'll be looking forward to it. Now, when you're entering a new modeling gig, describe how do you build relationships with the creative team or your fellow models?
Usually I'll pay attention to what they talk about more and try to get into their channel. Just bring myself to the level of where the people are, because I don't want to be, because I understand that in modeling, I can't talk about my study, for example, things like that. And for example, like in business, I can't talk about modeling, things like that. So I'll make sure that I am in the same vibes, in the same level with the people, and then just being friendly. I wouldn't want to brag about myself. I just want to become their friends. And from becoming their friends, I get to earn their respect. However, there are also the people there are also friends that bring the best out of me. which are the friends that I keep. However, there are also friends that didn't really actually bring any growth to me, but I still maintain my relationship with them. So I guess just earn their trust, be respect towards each other, and then from there, not only relationship as model and photographer, but can actually become friends for life. And I actually prefer it that way.
Who do you look up to in the modeling industry?
If I have to choose one, it has to be my own brother. In everything, I will always refer to him, and he's such a supportive brother. I'm just so grateful to have him.
That's awesome. Well, your brother is an aspiring influencer as well, right? Can we know what is his name?
His name is Vivienna Alfred.
Where can we find him on social media?
His social media is also Vincent Alfred.
So it's VINCENTALFRED, is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Cool. So how has your brother influenced your life positively as your role model?
He always encouraged me to, number one, he always reminds me not to overpromise the things that I cannot deliver. And then he also always motivated me that he in my life, he non-stop advised me about stuff and all this kind of thing. And one day I asked him, why aren't you tired to advise me all this kind of stuff? And he just said this, because I trust in you.
Wow.
So basically, the trust that people put in me has actually bring my motivations higher enough to achieve in whatever I want to achieve, because I know there are people who support me.
Nice. You sound like you have a very good support system around you.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for my family. They're just the best. But yeah, too bad we all are living far from each other.
Well, here's a question to cheer you up. Imagine when you finish this interview and step outside your office, you find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $10 million. What would you do?
I would buy a house for my family, for my parents, and then I will actually invest it on business. From this business, I get to help a lot more people from job employment. And if, let's say, if my business is doing good, I can actually use that money for public charity and all this. Instead of using this 10 million just to charity, I would love to actually generate more money out of this 10 million in order to help better and more people.
Now, if you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
I actually never thought of becoming an animal, but if I have to pick one, it has to be Scorpion, because my horoscope is Scorpion. So let's say if one day I get the chance to be any animal that I want and then become a human again, I will choose my own horoscope so that I will understand myself better as a human, so that I could actually see which traits of a Scorpion and myself is actually tells me and give me the traits, all this kind of things. So will be my own horoscope zodiac, it's Scorpion.
So Vivienna, what is the project which you are most looking forward to at the moment?
This one I has been planning, but I haven't actually made an announcement about it yet. So this is actually the first public announcement that I'm going to share with all of you.
All right.
I plan to do a beauty queen workshop where in this workshop, I would love to educate more people. I would love to share my experience, my knowledge about the younger girls who wants to be in pageantry. And not only younger girls, I mean, someone who is older but one doesn't have any experience but want to be a beauty queen, but they don't have a proper guide. I would love to do this kind of thing. And I would love to also collaborate with a lot of people. For example, if you are a makeup artist, maybe I would invite you or propose you to talk about what type of makeup is suitable for dinner, for event, and all this kind of thing. For example, if you're a designer, I would love to propose you to give a talk on how these queens can understand their body types and choose what is the most suitable types of clothing to wear on a certain event, on a certain weather, this kind of thing. So I plan to do this workshop and to have few more people collaborate with me so that I could do a massive success throughout this workshop, because no one has ever done it yet. So I'd love to be the one to done it.
So are there any help that you and your team are looking for to propel the success of this project? And how can our listeners help you?
I think in anything we all do, there will always be a way that we all can work together. So I just want to build a bigger team in terms of, well, if you're a photographer, if you're a designer, if you're a makeup artist, if be a beautician, all this. Come, let's be a team so that we can actually educate more people, especially younger girls who should not be taken for granted. So I love for people to get to help me. In order to help me to make this event success is by people who are also willing to share their experience, their knowledge, and educate more people about whatever they have been throughout their journey.
So how can the listeners reach out to you for any collaboration opportunities?
You can find me on my social media. I am mostly active on Instagram. It's Vivienna Alfred. This is the same username as in my Twitter. And my Facebook, it's Vivienna Q Alfred. The name on my Instagram profile is the same name on my Facebook. And I am also on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is just Vivienna Alfred. So these are the platforms that you guys can reach out to me. But let's say if you can't remember any of this, just go to my website. It's viviennaalfred.com. From there, you can actually find my social media platforms, also my email. So if you have any inquiry, just email me.
What is your one piece of advice to someone just starting out in the modeling and fashion industry?
Be independent. That is the best advice that I could give. Be independent in terms of everything. It is always my pleasure to help people who seek advice from me. However, there are things that I believe we all have to learn by ourselves as well. For example, a client would want to propose a photo shoot concept, but I don't know what is the photo shoot concept, because before this, I used not to know what is the meaning of when they said, "Oh, you look edgy, you are suitable for editorial." When I don't know that kind of term, I studied it myself, I educate myself, and I literally not only study about the definition, but I really study how does someone achieve this edgy kind of look? How does editorial standards has to match with the standard in order for it to be called as editorial and not only a portrait photo shoot? Because especially if we all want to look professional, I believe that if anything that we don't know, educate ourselves, study about it ourselves. Never, ever, ever ask our client, "I'm sorry, what do you mean by editorial again?" Never do that, because it just seems unprofessional. So if one piece of advice, be independent in terms of everything. Also, I would like to share one thing why I said be independent is that because when I started modeling in my hometown in Kuching, Sarawak, because it is a small market, so almost every fashion show or almost photo shoot or almost campaign, you can actually detect almost the same models over and over and over again. And throughout my experience, how these designers and photographers reach to me is that they text me or maybe they email me personally and say, "Hi Vivienna, how is your schedule? We would love to invite you for a fashion show." But when I first moved to KL, that kind of thing didn't happen, not even once. So I realized, oh, okay, no designer will actually look out for me. I have to look for them. So I have to be independent. I have to be hardworking. So just get out of our comfort zone. Even if I think that I am already successful in my hometown, I'm nothing yet. In fact, I think that I'm still learning all the way. So girls, just be independent.
That is such a powerful message. Be independent, take charge, and be proactive. Thank you very much, Vivienna, for sharing your story with us today. And Justorians, viviennaalfred.com. So it's VIVIEN for Norway, N for Norway, AALFRED.com is where you want to go to learn more about the wonderful work Vivienna is doing. You can also find her on Instagram. Her username is Vivienna X Alfred. So it's VIVIENNAXALFRED. So Vivienna, fellow Justorians and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being with us, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Hey Justorians, hope you enjoyed the chat with our guest today. This has been a pre-launch marketing campaign for Justory mobile app, a photo journal and social media platform for influencers, which will be available to download on both the Android and iOS App Store at the end of the year. Over there, you can learn more about the lives of our featured guests today, and in the meantime, share about your personal story and inspire other fellow Justorians who are in the same journey as you're in. Head over to our website, justory.app, That's justory.app to subscribe your email and be notified when the app is launched. Similarly, you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Our username is Justory app. That's JUSTORYAPP in one word. So you'll be notified when there are more interview episodes similar to the one we had today. Fellow Justorians, thank you very much once again for joining us today, and I'll catch you on the other side.